Back when I wasn't able to do these videos, I was actually posting some articles on Odyssey, and one of them was about. It was called the gender question, talking about like the hypocrisy of like modern feminist activists. And I feel like I should probably do a video putting this on YouTube later, but anyway, I bring this up because apparently in the last couple of days, weeks, I've been seeing more and more news about Stellar Blade coming out. Just how people are like losing their shirt. And I have to say, I find this fucking ironically funny and hypocritical considering the type of people who are bitching about it. Like this sound like I'm pretty sure these are the same talking dickheads who like to say stuff like, if you criticize, let's say that Mary Sue, an overrated character that is known as Ray Palpatine, if you criticize her, they called us, and by us I mean me or just any Star Wars fan who had even a mild criticism. They said, "Oh, you're just sexist, misogynistic, or you're threatened by strong women," which I find funny now because I'll bet you some of those same dickheads are bitching about this game because they have that same fucking slander narrative. And what's funny is like I could say the same thing about the people bitching about this game. Like, oh, so let me get this straight. You're bitching about a game where it has a female protagonist who's attractive. I don't like. There's a reason why whenever I hear feminists or talking idiots on the internet who use what I can assume are feminist talking points, or at least modern feminist talking points, I cannot respect them. I do not take them seriously. If anything, I feel an instinctive and reactive urge to give them the biggest middle fucking finger possible. Because this is the hypocrisy of like I said before, I'll say it again. They're hypocrites because they say women should this whole women liberation shit. We should be allowed to dress how we want, do what we want, all this shit. Well, they got that, and women in entertainment like comics and movies were able to be exposed more and more. And now that they've got it, since they already have what they want, they've continuously had to move the goalpost to justify their bullshit and their continued existence because they're a fucking cult and ideology born out of activism. And now they're always like, women are victims, and they're like, this is victimizing. How is a back to the hypocrisy though? Like, these same people, they have no problem objectifying men because women like it. But God forbid a man sees something that just looks remotely attractive, either sexually or aesthetically. Like God forbid a guy who works the 9 to 5, helping cloven hoof jackasses like them, who probably spit on them and look down on them, I might add, come home and look at something nice to relax and forget about their problems that day. Like one time, I considered being a plumber. Unfortunately, I required to go to trade school, which might involve going back to college. I'm like, yeah, I just got done because I'm like, no, fuck that noise. I am not going back to that moratorium on my sanity, or no, that moratorium on my life. But I thought about being a plumber. Being a plumber is a very agonizing job, apparently. So imagine you're doing that. You come home, you sit down, and you're wanting to watch TV or play a game. Problem: the jagoffs who make your entertainment now hate you. They spit on you and they give you the finger and basically say "screw you, eat shit, and die" constantly. That's their mentality. Like they do not give the faintest fuck about normal people trying to live their lives. It's all like we have to move the goalpost, do this, do that, make everyone think all the women think they're a victim and that they should kill men or just hate them in general. It's hypocrisy. It's fucking. This is like saying blacks have never been given anything nice by whites. I'm like, really? I'm sorry. Didn't America go through a civil war allegedly over slavery? I mean, granted, I don't believe it was exclusively about slavery, but still, it's like that to me. So you're bitching at the people who don't hate you, making them want to hate you. Actually, I have to confess, feminists and BLM have done more to make me hate certain groups than any misogynist or racist could ever hope to. Just putting that out. Just putting that out there. So they do this, and then they say stuff like, "This game is being made by people who obviously never talked to a woman or touched a woman." Then it turns out one of the guys involved, I think it was the director or something, his wife came out and attacked him. I'm like, oh shit. And then the model, I guess, also clapped back. And then cherry on top for me, the cherry on top of all this, that is the peak of the entertainment factor. I believe I saw some Korean people in media clapping back against these jagoff journalists and activists from America. I'm like, oh, I am loving this. I love it when these bicep douchebags get realize, well, that's oh wow, I don't get it. Why are these Savage is not praising us for standing up for them. You're not standing up for them. You're standing up for yourself. Your own bullshit cult. You are a bunch of cultists. You are the Manson family. Only the Manson family wasn't much of a threat. You are way worse than the Manson family. Hell, you're like the Jim Jones cult. Only instead of killing people yourselves, you want to kill other people. I know this because you've caused some people to kill themselves, like that one comic guy who offed himself recently, who self-deleted because of the Whisper Network. Anyway, these people do not represent normal people. They represent their cult. Their commie little goat fuck. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you guys. And I find it funny too because these same fuckers say imperialism is bad, but now they're trying to fuck over Japan, like infect it with their virus, their plague. And it seems like they're seeing some success. I don't think they're going to see full success. I think there's going to be some clap back, and I hope there is. And I hope Japan and the people there give these wokies the biggest fucking middle finger they can possibly give, along with you have 10 seconds to get out of here before we bonsai you, or not bonsai, kamikaze. That should have probably came out wrong, but anyway. So they do all this. These people are the worst form of hypocrites. Like there's this joke I've made recently. It's like these people have the consistency of a Parkinson's afflicted rifleman who's way too caffeinated. They couldn't be consistent if you paid them to. They're only consistent to their agenda, nothing more. They don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about any of you normal people who see this or hear this. They are cultists. They are evil, evil people who, the second you fall out of line or just don't agree with them, they probably want you dead. They're a bit like the Marxists in the Spanish Civil War. They killed anyone they just remotely suspected of not being on their side. Actually, no, scratch that. They tortured them, then killed them. No joke. I remember one guy at a video where it looked like they were mutilating some guy's genitals before they were going to execute him. Like, what the fuck, man? I knew you Marxists were unhinged, but what the fuck, man? Christ. And they say Albert Fish is degenerate. Actually, he was, and I'm pretty sure in terms of degeneracy, commies and Albert Fish are not that far apart. They are both a extreme level of degeneracy. Don't believe me? Look up Beria. Anyway, that's my thought on this whole issue. It's just like, yeah, no, wokies, you are hypocrites. You and your talking dickhead friends in game journalism, or who pretend. I'm sorry, no, your activist buddies who pretend, who cosplay as game journalists. You are douchebags. And I take immense, seriously, I am as hard as a mastodon tusk knowing that game journalism is dying. I'm taking great joy in this. I'm taking great joy in the fact that more and more people are saying, you know what, fuck these cultists, fuck them. They're like that George Carlin joke, fuck these boomers, fuck these yuppies. Actually, fuck everyone now that I think about it. But yeah, no, they're like, fuck these guys. So yeah, well, because if you happen to see this, yeah, I take great pleasure in knowing you may or may not be going the way of the dodo bird. Just the thought of it helps me sleep at night. And if you do decide to go the way of Jim Jones and his Jonestown, go fuck. But it was fun. Anyway, that's my thought on the issue. Is just like, there is one thing I should point out though. About the, I don't know if I'll be getting it, but I do love to point out hypocrisy. And while some people are saying like this hot thing is the main, might be the reason to get, I'm like, that's not really the reason to get the game. I get it has a hot female protagonist like Bayonetta was, which funny enough, the game journalists love to pretend they've always loved, but they bitched about her back in the day too. Or I believe they did. It's hard to remember now. But there was that. But having a hot protagonist isn't always enough to get a game. If it looks fun, that's when I get it. And I haven't played a game in months. Like I tried going back to play one a few days ago, and I couldn't do it. I forgot what I was doing in the game because it was a fucking RPG game. But that's kind of my last point about the game now is just like, I hope it does well for a number of reasons. One, I hope people enjoy it. Two, I hope there's more like it. And three, it's a bit like certain mangas I've gotten in the past. Like, I felt a manga back when I was at the Freshman Academy back in Sheridan. I kind of fell out of that after 8th grade, and by freshman year, I was kind of burned out. I kind of took breaks from all of it. Then in 2018, when that Goat Fuck with Goblin Slayer happened, I found out about Goblin Slayer. I went back to manga. Hell, I began reading that and a bunch of other shit like Shield Hero. So, yeah. And also, these dipshits are probably doing more to help promote the game than any promotional ad ever. Like, I've said this as a joke, but I'll say it again. Wokies and these dipshits online who get butthurt and offended by any little thing or the sudden, they are the best promotional campaign. They are the best advertisement because people are like, oh, this pisses them. And sometimes that doesn't work in your favor because I'm pretty sure Hollywood and the entertainment dipshits will pick up on that and try to capitalize on it. But sometimes it still works. Unlike Fallout 76, it just works. And that's where I'm going to end the video. Have a nice day, and remember the game is rigged from the start.